it got hotter again today. I don't know what's going on with the weather. Again, I guess summer wants to stick around. And what did I read today? I guess in terms of hot weather, I guess it's better than this in terms of war around the world. How about this one in terms of a massive drone attack? This one says Ukraine unleashes mass drone attack while Russia strikes Kharkiv and Sumy. As it says here, Russian air defenses intercepted and destroyed 158 Ukrainian drones overnight, including 2 over Moscow and 9 over the surrounding region, the defense ministry said Sunday. 46 of the drones were over the Kursk region, where Ukraine has sent its forces in recent weeks in the largest incursion on Russian soil since the Second World War. A further 34 were shot over the Bryansk region, 28 over Voronezh region, and 14 over the Belgorod region, all of which border Ukraine. That alone is kind of scary just to think about in terms of the conflict and how it's progressing in terms of saying, for example, the largest incursion since World War II. It says drones were also shot down deeper into Russia, including 1 each in the Tver region northwest of Moscow and the Ivanovo region northeast of the Russian capital. Russia's defense ministry said drones were intercepted over 15 regions, while one other governor said a drone was shot down over his region too. Makes you think how paranoid they would be about just any drones flying. In this situation, I could see, for example, if a country is really restrictive in terms of drone flights and so forth when you're in an actual war per se, like completely different scenario. Even if they take it down though, it says Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said that the falling debris from one of the 2 drones shot down over the city caused a fire at an oil refinery. Ukrainian drone strikes have brought the fight far from the front line into the heart of Russia. Since the beginning of the year, Ukraine has stepped up aerial assaults on Russian soil, targeting refineries and oil terminals to slow down Kremlin's assault. Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry said Sunday it had taken control of the towns of Pivinch and Vimika and Ukraine's Donetsk region. The Associated Press cannot independently verify the claim. And it seems like, I guess, Ukraine is doubling down, saying it's all justified and so forth, because it says here in the official post, it is entirely justified for Ukrainians to respond to Russian terror by any means necessary to stop it. Every day and night, our cities and villages endure enemy attacks. Just in the past week, Russia has launched over 160 missiles of various types, 780 guided aerial bombs, and 400 strikes, UAVs of different kinds, against our people. And so I guess with that said, if they strike things, for example, civilian buildings and so forth, are both sides going to say it's fair game? That's unfortunate, as it's the regular people that lose, huh? But again, just in terms of things like drones and all that, here's the situation where you should be concerned about flying drones versus in other places around the world, like here, people are so afraid of toys and all that. All that makes you think too, if you are kind of like in a neutral standpoint, do you think it's okay for either side to start bombing civilians and so forth? Or would you only kind of, I guess, be supportive per se, depending on who you think is right or wrong, if they bomb things like military structures, which is a little different? And in later news, I guess, but still kind of crazy, apparently all these clips were going viral of people going to a bank called Chase and withdrawing literally tens of thousands of dollars because of some kind of quote glitch. So you can see there's so many people recording videos of themselves going up to ATM and pulling out all this money, celebrating and so forth. Now apparently what's happening, it's some people are taking their checks, they're depositing them digitally. For example, nowadays for a lot of banks, you can actually just take a picture of your check and deposit it in the bank that way. And so what they're doing is they're writing themselves, let's just say a $10,000 to $30,000 check. They deposit it digitally, and then what they do is they run to the ATM and they withdraw, I guess, that money as if it's actually real, but the check is actually not valid per se. Like that's apparently one way they're doing it. And there's some other things too, like people, I don't know, doing something with loans and so forth in the same manner. Because normally with things like a check, for example, when you deposit one that's really big, the bank is supposed to take a few days to clear it. Whereas if they did it this way, it instantly says, okay, that money's available to you. So while people were celebrating, all of a sudden, I guess the bank picked up on it, not surprising, and they started to take away the money, and then people are all in distress saying, look at their bank accounts, like mine is, I don't know, $30,000 and all that. I'm just thinking, are you crazy? How did you think you were gonna get away with that? There's so much paper trail. Even for criminals, I would say what they try to do is hide all their actions, correct? Here, you have clear records of you doing this on top of the fact that you record yourself. It makes me think too, isn't this a criminal act per se in doing this? You're essentially trying to defraud the bank. Either way, I don't know what people are thinking when they do stuff like this. All right, see you guys later.